Raider Nation, brace yourselves because we're about to shake things up. I've got 4 massive stories that'll keep you glued to the screen. We're talking game-changing updates for our offense, a drama that's got fans on edge, a sneaky move no one saw coming, and a rumor that could flip everything upside down. Want to know what's cooking? Grab a seat, smash that like button, and let's dive into the chaos. Which of these is gonna blow up the comments? Drop your take below because the show starts now. Raider Nation, let's kick things off with a story that's got the silver and black faithful buzzing. There's a rumor swirling around Allegiant Stadium like wildfire, and it's all about Christian Wilkins. Our star defensive tackle, one of the biggest signings in Raiders history, is caught in a storm over a possible foot injury. It all started when insider Tony Pauline dropped a bombshell, claiming there's serious concern within the team about Wilkins' foot, which suffered a Jones fracture in Week 5 last season. He had surgery in October 2024, with everyone expecting him to be 100% for the 2025 kickoff. But now, this rumor's picking up steam, and fans are split between panic and skepticism. Here's the deal. Wilkins is a beast on the D-line, racking up 98 tackles and 9 sacks in 2023 before the injury. He inked a 4-year, $110 million deal, so the pressure's on for him to deliver. Pauline's report hints that his foot isn't fully healed, even floating the idea of another surgery. Could this explain why the Raiders drafted 2 defensive tackles in 2025? Tonka Hemingway from South Carolina in the 4th round and JJ Piggy. Are they prepping a plan B if Wilkins isn't ready? Fans are freaking out because without him, our defense could struggle against heavyweights like the Chiefs. But hold up, it's not all doom and gloom. Sources close to the team, including an unnamed player, say Wilkins is training normally and looks solid. Another Raiders insider confirmed he wore a walking boot last month, but there's no sign he'll miss games. The silence from big names like Adam Schefter or Ian Rappaport also makes you wonder how serious this is. If it was a huge deal, would Pauline be the only one with the scoop? Right now, it's a murky situation and it's sparking some heated debates. Some think the Raiders are just playing it safe, while others fear this injury could derail our season. Strategically, this is a game changer. If Wilkins isn't at full strength, the pressure shifts to Max Crosby and the rookie draftees. Our defense, which struggled in 2024, needs to be rock solid to compete in the AFC West. The good news, training camp kicks off in July and we'll get more clarity then. For now, Raider Nation's holding its breath, but our faith never wavers. And while we're wrestling with this drama, there's another update that could shake up our offense. Buckle up because the next topic's a wild one. Raider Nation, keep that energy high because we're diving into a move that's got Allegiant Stadium buzzing. The wide receiver market is red hot, and the trade of George Pickens to the Cowboys is sending shockwaves all the way to Vegas. Did you catch this? Pittsburgh shipped Pickens to Dallas for a 2026 third-round pick and a 2027 fifth-rounder, with the Cowboys tossing in a 2027 sixth-rounder. This deal's got Raiders fans on edge because our own Jacoby Meyers is starting to pop up on other teams' radars, especially Pittsburgh's. Are we at risk of losing our WR1? Let's break it down. Pickens is a raw talent with a rep for being a headache. Pittsburgh, already rebuilding its receiver room after trading Deontay Johnson and snagging DK Metcalf, now has a gaping hole in their roster. And guess who they have had their eye on? Yup, Jacoby Meyers. A source tied to the Steelers says they inquired about our number 16 months ago. Now, with Pickens gone, the speculation's back in full force. Meyers, who posted 71 catches, 804 yards, and 8 touchdowns in 2024, is the heartbeat of our offense. He's in the final year of his contract with 0 guaranteed money for 2025, making him a juicy trade target. The stakes for the Raiders are massive. Losing Meyers would gut our offense, which already battled inconsistency last season. Geno Smith, our starting QB, needs reliable weapons, and Meyers is the glue holding it together. Fans are torn. Some are screaming for the Raiders to lock him up with an extension, while others worry the team might entertain a trade if the offer's right. Can you imagine the chaos in the comments if that happens? Strategically, the Raiders need to protect Meyers. A 2-year, $40 million extension, fully guaranteed, would slot him as the 22nd highest paid WR in the NFL. A fair deal that'd be a steal by 2027. There's more. If Pickens signs a fat contract in Dallas, it could inflate the receiver market, making it tougher to re-sign Meyers. Luckily, sources say Pickens wants to prove himself in 2025 before chasing a big payday, which buys the Raiders some time. The heat's on GM Tom Telesco and coach Pete Carroll to act fast. Raider Nation's watching closely, and no one wants to see our WR1 in another jersey. And while we're praying for a happy ending, there's a curveball coming that'll make you rethink everything. Raider Nation, let's keep the intensity up because another key player is still in the spotlight. While we're sweating over the Meyers drama, our offensive tackle Kolton Miller is at the center of some serious buzz. The guy's the anchor of our O-line, but with just 1 year left on his contract and no guaranteed money for 2025, talks about an extension are heating up. And what's fueling the fire? The Pickens trade to Dallas is forcing the Raiders to rethink their financial priorities. Could we see Miller sign before Meyers? Kolton Miller's the strong silent type who holds it down. In 2024, he started all 17 games protecting Geno Smith's blindside and paving the way for our run game. At 6'8", 325 pounds, he's a beast, with Pete Carroll calling him the heart of our line. But with only $30 million in cap space for 2025, GM John Spytek's got a tough call on who gets paid first, Miller, Meyers, or someone else. Fans are on edge, especially since a source says at least 2 AFC teams asked about Miller early in the offseason, raising red flags. The context is critical. Our O-line struggled with injuries and inconsistency in 2024, but Miller was the rock that kept it together. Without him, Geno Smith would be a sitting duck, and our run game, led by 2025 first-rounder Ashton Jeanty, would tank. A proposed extension for Miller, 3 years, $60 million with $40 million guaranteed, would keep him among the top 10 highest paid tackles in the NFL. It's pricey, but it's an investment in the team's backbone. Fans are split. Some say the O-line comes first, while others want Meyers locked in. So where does the Pickens trade fit in? It's rocked the receiver market, and if the Raiders prioritize Meyers to avoid a price spike, Miller might have to wait. That's worrisome, because Pete Carroll's philosophy leans on dominating the trenches, and Miller sets the physical tone. Sources say he's happy in Vegas and showed up for voluntary workouts, a sign of loyalty. But Raider Nation, here's the $1 million question. If we can only sign one now, who do you pick, Miller or Meyers? And while we're wrestling with that impossible choice, there's a sneaky move in the works that no one saw coming. Raider Nation, it's time to flip the script and talk about a move that's sparking hope in our silver and black hearts. While we're freaking out over Wilkins, Meyers, and Miller, the Raiders pulled a ninja move in the offseason that's flying under the radar but could be a game changer for 2025, signing veteran cornerback Steven Nelson as a free agent. That's right, the former Steeler and Texan inked a 1-year, $8 million deal, and fans are starting to realize this addition could turn our secondary into a nightmare for opponents. But is he the missing piece? Here's the scoop. Our secondary was a weak link in 2024, giving up 230 passing yards per game, one of the worst marks in the NFL. Jack Jones and Nate Hobbs held their own, but a lack of depth and experience left us exposed against QBs like Patrick Mahomes. Enter Steven Nelson, a 32-year-old vet with 10 seasons, 13 career picks, and a rep for being physical and smart. In 2024 with the Texans, he had 4 interceptions and 63 tackles, proving he's still got it. His signing is a clear message from Pete Carroll. Our defense is about to get nasty. The strategic impact is huge. Nelson's expected to play as CB2 alongside Jones, letting Hobbs thrive in the slot. This gives defensive coordinator Patrick Graham the freedom to dial up aggressive schemes, like blitzes, without worrying about the secondary getting torched. Fans are hyped but cautious. Some ex-posts show love for Nelson's experience, while others wonder if a 32-year-old can keep up with young, speedy receivers like Devontae Adams in practice. Truth is, Nelson doesn't need to be a star. He just needs to be steady, and his track record says he can handle it. There's a catch, though. The one-year deal raises questions about the long term. Is Nelson a stopgap until a rookie, like third-round pick Ashton Hampton, is ready? Or are the Raiders testing him for a bigger extension? The move shows GM John Spytek's balancing act, bolstering the present without mortgaging the future. If Nelson plays at his 2024 level, our defense could finally hold its own in the AFC West. Raider Nation's riding a wave of hope and nerves, dying to see him in action at training camp. And while we're dreaming of a lockdown secondary, there's a recap coming that'll fuel the fire. Raider Nation, what a day for our fan base. The Wilkins injury rumors got us on pins and needles. The Pickens trade is putting pressure on locking down Meyers. Miller's extension is a make or break call. And Nelson's arrival could be the secret weapon for our defense. So what's the vibe? Are the Raiders nailing their priorities, or are we risking losing key pieces? Who deserves the bag first? Meyers or Miller? Is Nelson the fix we need, or just a band-aid? Drop your hot takes in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe, because this debate's straight up electric.